All right, there was an international security briefing to Congress and the Senate and everybody up and down about the importance of Ukraine and the reality of the situation they are in right this very second. Now, because of this briefing, Mr. Mike Johnson used it as some sort of political game to come out with this heartfelt speech of how we have to make sure Ukraine gets protected. And knowing that we're not sending money to Ukraine, we're sending old ammunition and things to help them defend their skies and defend themselves, not pallets of cash, which is the MAGA narrative. But anyway, he went on to say how important it was and how he sees it time that he okays a funding bill for Ukraine. And that was along with funding for Israel, funding for Taiwan, and a couple other national security type of funding things. The text is not out yet, but what is out is it was supposed to be all separate stuff, and it was all supposed to go in one shot, Well, the things that were combined in the bill with the Ukraine funding is the TikTok ban. So the TikTok ban is now part of the Ukraine funding, which is absolutely necessary, which Biden has been fighting for, the Democrats have been fighting for, and the Republicans have blocked every single time it has been put up. Therefore, this is a obvious ploy to force the TikTok ban issue, which would force the sale of TikTok within 9 months or 6 months by September, I believe it is. And the only people so far talking about purchasing it is Steve Mnuchin and possibly Jared Kushner with Saudi money and some Republican Russian Saudi friends maybe. So yeah. All of that's happening right now. The bills are supposed to be on the president's desk by tomorrow. We will see how they actually write them all out, how they actually expect them to pan out. But yeah, that's the game. And since he's doing this and he's visibly appearing to have worked with the Democrats, is all the MAGA Republican ultra-right wing needs to order him to vacate his speaker seat, which puts us back into the same situation with everybody voting for 10 times to find another Speaker of the House. The good thing about that is there's a number of Republicans that aren't coming back, including, a couple of them that announced today and yesterday that they weren't running for re-election. So there is actually a good chance that those Republicans may or may not vote for Hakeem Jeffries to take over the House Speaker role, which I think would be poetic justice. But I'm sure Mike Johnson has this little tiny thought in his little tiny brain that the Democrats will vote for him to save his job because he's put Ukraine funding on the bill. He's going to screw him anyway, but I'm sure that was the battle plan in his, genius mind. Anyway, this is getting ugly. This is getting nasty. And, we need to recognize the forcible sale of TikTok has ulterior motives. Every request that was asked by hearings about TikTok and national security and privacy and everything else, TikTok has addressed and solved. They have a 2,000, 3,000 employee hub in Texas that is holding all the 170 million TikTok users like you and me. All of our information is being held there with no contact, no direct connection whatsoever to China or anywhere else. They also put in all these security levels to keep it safe. So they're already addressing it, and they continue to say, anything else you need, just let us know and we'll do it. So this is all an ulterior motive type of Republican plan. Who knows what the details of those motives are? I guess we will find out in about 6 months if, in fact, these bills are signed. So pay attention, everybody. Stay diligent, stay educated, be kind. We are all in this together. And if there's something that looks fishy, it's probably because it is. If there's something that looks contradictory to the last words out of that same person's mouth, it's probably because they're ulterior motives in what they're doing. And Mike Johnson is the epitome of that statement at this very moment. So let's all pay a little bit better attention to who we put in office on both sides of the aisle. Lately, let's just face it, there's more concern on one side than the other. Stay diligent, stay educated, be kind. We are all in this together. And for the betterment of this country, for the future of this country, and the future of our great democracy, we need to pay more attention to who we're hiring for our jobs. Just saying.